Hi, this is Mark Sherry, and this is the New Music Alliance Radio Hour. You just heard Champagne by Anchor. And before that, you heard 3 Years Later by Jillian Caillouette. And starting off, we had Jenna Thompson doing Husband or Heartbreak. Those were some really, really fine tunes. And we're treated today to music that's coming from a studio in Plainville, Connecticut called Pharaoh Recording Studios. And we have the owners and chief engineer, Pace Pharaoh, and his dad, Enzo Pharaoh. Hey, guys.
Hey, thanks for having us.
It's our pleasure. You guys produce some great tunes, which I'm sure everyone will agree with, especially after they hear the rest of this show today. But we certainly started out with three great ones. And I wanted to talk a little bit about, Pharaoh Recording and just see, basically what you guys are, doing in terms of, how you approach the recording process, and if there's anything you'd like to tell us specifically about the studio that sort of makes you unique.
Our philosophy when working on a new project is always to treat the artists like our friends and family. And, when they come in, we want to make sure they feel comfortable and like they're at home, because honestly, we believe that, every artist is at their best, when they're on stage or when they're in their bedroom practicing. And we want to make sure that, when they're here, they feel as comfortable as possible. And yeah, that's our general philosophy, is just make sure everyone feels comfortable.
When the artist is comfortable, that's when they're at their most creative. Like Pace mentioned, that first idea first strikes that artist. That's when people come in with their demos. Some of the best performances are on those demos, because they were, completely, just free and without any of the inhibitions of, being in front of someone and having to perform. So this studio's in our home. So we want the artist to feel at home. So that's our philosophy, straight up. Just capture that at home welcome feeling and let them be comfortable.
Well, these three songs, those artists certainly sounded comfortable. And and you guys, I just want the audience to know that when I said this is Pharaoh Recording Studios, that's written as Pharoh, like the Egyptian kings. And that's not actually how you guys actually spell your last name, but it sounds exactly the same. And I was joking with you earlier, saying that when artists come there, they're treated like pharaohs, right? They're treated
absolutely. It is definitely the royal treatment when they come here. They're in our homes, they're our guests, and they all they have to do is play their instrument. We take care of the rest.
That's wonderful.
One thing I wanted to sort of challenge our audience is that at the end of the show, I want everybody to have, their best guess as to, after listening to the incredible production here, how old do you think the engineer of these songs would be? And so at the end, you'll see if you got the right guess here. Okay. But let's talk about the songs first. The last song we heard, Champagne, by Anchor. That is a sort of a dreamy song. He's got, what I'd call like the bedroom voice,
Yeah. They're such a talented crew. I mean, speaking of age and stuff, I mean, those guys were, when they recorded that album, they were all between the ages of 14 and 19. And yeah,
I thought they sounded like a college band playing out in the summer for all their friends in the backyard, everybody dancing, having a good time. It had a great feel to it. Great
pop potential on that song. That's for sure.
From Branford?
From Branford, Connecticut. Yeah. And before that, we had a tune from Jillian Caillouette from Meriden, Connecticut, called 3 Years Later. That's like, to me, like a lost love song. What great production, I thought, on that song.
Thank you. Yeah, we really spent a lot of time on that one, thinking about all the layers. I mean, you may not realize it, but there's like probably 50 to 100 tracks on that song. A lot of them being, a lot of them being like the background vocals. We spent, Jillian and I spent a long time, like, figuring out, okay, how are we going to layer the background vocals there? And I think we ended up with like 18 different background vocal tracks, and it really paid off. And I think, on that last chorus in that song, you can really hear him shine through.
You can tell that she has a background in theater, and love the way she just takes her time and builds up the crescendo and edges you into, the belting out of her voice. It's beautiful.
Yeah. It really comes to a real dramatic conclusion there. It's honestly my favorite track on the album for sure. Good call on the musical theater background, and that was she had come in with that background and really wanted to bridge the gap into more pop and rock, and we're the perfect guys for that. So.
Well, I love the lyrics to that too. Some of the things it's really kind of clever. The lost love, and she says to him, How's the house, by the way, I never got to see, and how's your mom that I never got to meet?
Yeah.
And before that, we had a tune by Jenna Thompson, Husband or Heartbreak. Jenna from Ludlow, Massachusetts. What a sort of an opposite kind. This is a really heartfelt love song with talking just about like straight from the heart, her total commitment.
Beautiful, beautiful voice. Just. It speaks to like just years of depth, but again, another young artist there too. Speaking of making people feel comfortable, that was actually Jenna's first experience in a studio, and she had come in, and she's one of those rare musicians that doesn't have a lot of musician friends. So when she came into the studio, she's looking around at all the guitars hanging here and all the instruments. She's like, wow, this is like a candy land here. And I said, yeah, it's different when you're on this oasis and you're not surrounded by musicians, and you come into a place where it's an artist, playground. And she just kicked into gear and started recording, and our jaws dropped when we first heard her voice. It's just incredible.
She's a natural. Yeah.
A real natural.
The way you're describing the way you treat everybody like family, that probably really helped her feel comfortable. Yeah.
Yeah, that's when it comes into play the most with those newer artists.
She was an expert by the time we were done. Like I think that was over that EP was done over like a week and a half, and she was a little nervous when she came in, but by the end of it, she was like, okay, I got it down now, and you could tell she was really comfortable.
Yeah.
So mission accomplished.
She was bossing us around by the end of the section.
That's great. That was a great set of tunes, and we're gonna get to our next set. And first, we're going to hear All in My Head by Jason LaPierre.